Retraction, a statement saying that something you said or wrote at an earlier time is not true or correct. This topic is about ways to proving that Rizal did not retract. Jose Rizal did not retract his condemnation of the Spanish friars. Some scholarship has been done, but on the whole, it remains terra incognita for most Filipino. This is a pity understanding the controversies on Rizal retraction may hold the key to what afflicts the Filipino sides.
Father Manuel A. Garcia, a Spanish vocal teacher, found a document or letter wrote by Rizal which he translated. On May 18, 1935, the lost original document of Rizal's retraction was discovered. In April 1935 was appointed as an archdiocesan archivist. According to Father Manuel Garcia, he found a document in the letter made by Rizal saying, "I declare myself a Catholic. In this religion in which I was born and educated, I wish to live and die." The other saying in the letter that he was an enemy of the church, which that was the reason he was executed. This letter was written on December 29, 1896. "I declare myself a Catholic, and in this religion in which I was born and educated, I wish to live and die. I retract with all my heart whatever in my words, writing, publication, and conduct has been contrary to my character as a son of the Catholic Church." Evidence: Baron Fernandez, a Spanish orphan who worked for almost half-century in two historical secret archives in Madrid and Segovia, had an eyewitness account of retraction which he discovered in those repertories of Spain's dirty secrets. He found 34 documents including handwritten letters, telegrams, and military documents including a thick sheaf of Rizal's defense. He had written himself days before he was murdered at Bagumbayan. Fernandez said, "I had a document stating that before he faced death, Rizal told his sister Narcisa to look inside his shoe because he had left a letter." According to Fernandez, that letter could only be denial of his retraction because Rizal knew the friars were misleading the Filipinos as he wanted to set the record straight.
Manuel Moratos exposed. A friend of Baron Fernandez subsequently bought from Fernandez at intellectual property right to the valuable manuscript. Morato said in his expose that the first forged the retraction letter and published in the Serico, his newspaper at that time. Morato confirmed no Rizal never retract, although that fake retraction was published by Perk then and is still sadly peddled in Moscow, but that is not true. Both Morato and Fernandez have documents to prove that when Rizal was in the Pitan, he was allowed to go Cebu with Josephine Bracken and Archbishop of Cebu at that time tied to legal marriage and asked him to retract. Evidence: Mr. Farm continuous acts with undermine that belief that Rizal retracted. Number 1. The documents of retraction were kept secret. Only copies of each were finished to the newspaper, but with the exception of one person, nobody sold the original. Number 2. When the family of Rizal asked for the original of the said documents or a copy of the alleged retraction letter, the petition was denied. Number 3. Rizal burial was kept secret. Evidence: no masses were said for his soil of a panel held by Catholics. Evidence: notwithstanding the claim that Rizal was reconciled with the church, he was not buried in a Catholic cemetery in Paco but in a ground.
Evidences. The entry in the Book of Burials of the interment of Rizal's body is not made on the page with those burials. Mr. Palm's continuous acts which undermine the belief that Rizal retracted. Number 1. The documents of retraction were kept secret only. Copies of it were furnished to the newspapers, but with the exceptions of one person, nobody saw the original. When the family of Rizal asked the original of the said document or a copy of the alleged retraction letter, the petition was denied. Number 3. Rizal's burial was kept secret. Evidences. First was the copy of the retraction paper that has allegedly signed by Rizal that was even kept secret and was only published in newspapers. When Rizal's family requested for the original copy, it was said that it was lost. Could the Jesuits be this irresponsible to not know the value of the paper, or was it just hidden? Evidences. 39 years later, the original copy was found in the Archdiocesan Archives. Ricardo Pascual, Ph.D., who was given permission by the Archbishop Nuzaleda to examine the document and later concluded in his books, Rizal Beyond the Grave, that the documents presented was a forgery. The common rebuttal of this argument was either Father Balaguer or Father P. had made errors in reproducing another copy of the original.
Evidences. Father Balaguer came to terms that he married Jose and Josephine after Jose had signed the retraction paper. However, there were no marriage certificate or public record shown that could prove Father Balaguer's statement. Evidences. Rizal was accused of participating in filibusteros propaganda where the penalty, as provided by the Spanish Code, is death. Way back when Rizal was still exiled in the Pitan, Father Sanchez, Rizal's favorite teacher from Ateneo, was sent by the Jesuit superiors to try to convince his former students' allegation towards the Catholic religion and Spanish religion. Evidences. It was argued that Rizal retracted in order to save his family from further persecution to give Josephine break-in. Evidences. Let us look at Rizal's character as a man aged 33. He was matured enough to realize the consequences of the choice he had made even before he opposed to the Jesuits. He had been anticipating this to happen and would be unlikely if he had a behavior showing a threat from death. Anyone who has been studying his biography and had been acquainted with him knows this is so. Even the priest had admitted that Rizal showed a behavior consistent of what he was throughout his mature years. Evidences. Whatever further study that may emerge as to the truth about Rizal's retraction controversy, it detracts nothing from his greatness as a Filipino. And conclusion. If Rizal retracted, he would not have been executed, but he was executed. Therefore, Rizal did not retract. He would have been an example for the cause of the friars. He would have been given a decent Christian burial, not buried like a dead dog outside Paco Cemetery.